Hey Star Trek fans, Dan Gunther here. Now, I know it's been a couple of weeks and I'm very behind on making videos. However, I did not want to pass up the opportunity to give my comments on the recent teaser trailer for Star Trek Lower Decks Season 2, released on First Contact Day earlier this month. So without further ado, here is a shot-by-shot breakdown of the Star Trek Lower Decks Season 2 teaser trailer. Starting out, we get a shot of the starship USS Cerritos, the main ship for the Star Trek Lower Decks series, with Paramount Plus emblazoned over it. Paramount Plus, of course, being the new name of the former CBS All Access, the streaming service which will carry Lower Decks and all the rest of the Star Trek series. We then go inside the Cerritos into the mess hall, and we see the characters Mariner, Tendi, and Rutherford. Mariner makes a comment about doing sci-fi stuff. You'll notice there is one character missing in this scene, and that, of course, is Boimler, who left the Cerritos at the end of Season 1 to join the USS Titan under the command of Captain William Riker. But more on him later in the trailer. In the next shot, we see a Miranda-class starship, much like the USS Reliant from Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, a ubiquitous class of starship that's seen over many decades in the Star Trek universe, under attack by unknown aliens in the middle of this asteroid field. I'm not sure from this shot who the attackers are. I've tried to look. I'm not sure if it's the Packleds from last season or something else. It does appear to be something different. There's kind of a complex built into the asteroid in the background. The ship itself is called the USS Mcduff, registry NCC 1877. Now, there's been no USS Mcduff in Star Trek before. The only other Mcduff that I can think of off the top of my head was, of course, the imposter Commander Kieran Mcduff, the fake first officer of the Enterprise in the TNG Season 5 episode Conundrum. I'm assuming the name of this ship has no relation to that. So, I assume Starfleet hasn't named a ship after this guy. But, yeah, I'm not sure what the provenance of this name is. People in the comments, maybe you can tell me if you think it's maybe the Shakespeare character from the play Macbeth or something else. I'm not sure. Next, we get another tie to the original series, the creature called a Mugatu from the TOS second season episode, A Private Little War. This is an ape-like creature whose bite is extremely venomous and poisonous to humans. Only ever seen in that episode, but referred to in other places in Star Trek novels and that sort of thing. And of course, the creature after which Will Ferrell's character is named in Ben Stiller's film Zoolander. However, TOS isn't the only legacy Star Trek getting references to. We see Mariner in the getup worn by combatants in an Anbo Jitsu match. Anbo Jitsu was the martial art featured in the TNG episode The Icarus Factor, in which Riker and his father dressed in these very attractive getups.
Anbo Jitsu, the ultimate evolution in the martial arts.
Next, we get this interesting sequence with Commander Ransom seemingly displaying some sort of superpowers or something like that. The reference that immediately comes to mind for me is, of course, Riker getting the powers of the Q in the TNG first season episode Hide and Q. So this could be another instance of a first officer gaining godlike abilities or something like that. So I'm not sure what exactly is happening here. Very plot specific. He seems to be sort of floating above some of the crew. I can see Dr. T'Ana as well as Mariner. I'm not sure who in the middle that is, but yeah, definitely crew members of the Cerritos kind of being awed or being blown back by the power that Ransom is exhibiting here. The next sequence shows some sort of underground complex. This might be Boimler over at the controls here. He looks to have kind of a similar style as well as Boimler's purple hair. The three other crew members are under attack by some forces over here on the left. I'm not sure who these are. They may be Packleds. The build is kind of right, as well as maybe the helmets that the Packleds wore in last year's season finale. But yeah, I'm not sure exactly what this complex is or what they're defending here, what's happening, but it looks like possibly the Packleds return as an antagonist at this point. This next reference I love. The attention to detail is wonderful. We see Mariner in a Cardassian interrogation room as seen in the TNG two-parter Chain of Command, where Picard was tortured by Gul Madred. And the details here are great. The chair, the desk, the Cardassians. It's great to see Cardassians as well. And of course, above Mariner, we see that there are 4 lights. Mariner herself seems to be wearing some sort of possibly Starfleet workout gear, which makes me think this might be a training program on the holodeck or something like that. Not sure exactly what's happening here, but again, very eager to find out. Also love to see the Cardassian phaser designs. Very true to what we know from Star Trek. I love when they reproduce stuff like that. So in this next shot, we see Tendi and an unknown alien. I'm not sure what the species is. Doesn't look like anything we've seen before. In front of kind of this writhing mass of snake-like lizard-type creatures. Not sure exactly what's going on here. The interesting thing from this shot, though, to me, is behind the white alien there in the foreground, we see this creature, which reminds me of a couple of things. First, it bears kind of a striking resemblance to this creature from the Star Trek Prodigy promo picture. This character here, who we don't know anything about yet, but yeah, they look very similar here. Or it could just be a creature like Armus as well, from TNG's Skin of Evil. After a quick shot of Rutherford screaming, we get the trio in the USS Cerritos' brig. Mariner's behind the force field, not sure if she's incarcerated as she sometimes is for misdemeanors and that sort of thing, or if this is them testing the brig like we saw in season 1. But Tendi says the only thing missing is Boimler, again referencing the fact that Boimler is away on the Titan. Tendi then says he's got to be having the time of his life. And of course, in true comedic style, cut to the bridge of the USS Titan, where the Titan is under attack in dire circumstances. Boimler is very upset and not having a great time at all. We then see Captain Riker calling for red alert and making one of his trademark jazz metaphors, saying that this jam session has too many licks and not enough comps, to which Boimler replies, "What does that even mean?" Cue Boimler screaming at the top of his lungs as the Titan heads towards an anomaly under attack by unknown forces. And again, as Boimler kind of screams as they fly off into the distance. So yeah, looks like we are seeing Riker and the Titan again next season, which is very exciting. We had learned, of course, that this would be the case previously, but it's great to see him and hear him in this trailer. Unfortunately, from the sounds of it, it looks like Marina Sirtis as Deanna Troi might not be returning in season 2 from some reports I've heard, which is definitely unfortunate. So let's talk a little bit about what this trailer means. There's not a lot to glean here. It's just a 30-second teaser, but what is there is interesting. So we know that the circumstances at the end of season 1 will carry over into season 2 with Boimler away on the Titan. And I'm wondering if his story is kind of going to mirror the commander from the USS Vancouver that we saw last season, where he's kind of burned out by the big, amazing adventures of a premier ship of the line like Titan, and will long for the more quiet life of duty aboard a ship like the Cerritos, which was kind of something that was explored in season 1, and it may be time for Boimler to learn that lesson as well. Really, story-wise, that seems to kind of be the only beat that I really get from this trailer, other than that the 3 of them on the Cerritos may be missing Boimler and kind of envious of his journey. So it may be that all of them kind of learn a little bit that, you know, serving on the Titan isn't all it's cracked up to be. These big, huge, epic adventures maybe are a little bit too stressful, and the quiet life of a lower decks officer on the Cerritos is really the life to lead. But I want to hear from all of you. What do you think of this teaser trailer? Are you excited that we are getting Star Trek Lower Decks on August 12th? So that's the other thing we learn here, of course, is that August 12th will be the premiere date for season 2 of Lower Decks. It's going to come very quickly. Very excited to see that. Are you as well? Let me know in the comments. Let me know also your theories about what the themes and stories explored in Season 2 might be. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, of course, to the Patreon supporters for all of your help in bringing these episodes to you. I could not do it without you. I truly do appreciate it. I'll see everyone in the next video. Until then, as always, live long and prosper.